Hey everyone, I'm Nick and welcome back to the Cave of Collectibles. Today I'll give you my quick review of The Mandalorian Chapter 8 Redemption, the final episode in the first season. Now this is actually take 2 because I've already filmed this and I cut half my head off, so we can't upload that, it doesn't look very good. But anyway, for this review I am going to just mention a few different points throughout the episode that I liked and just sort of give my impressions of the first season as a whole. So hopefully I won't ramble on too much today. That's the goal. If you haven't seen my other reviews, they'll be linked at the end of the episode. But like always, guys, please like and subscribe and yeah, leave a comment if you have any questions. But otherwise, guys, let's get going. So there's so much in this episode to like. I reckon the first thing to really like about this episode is the actual stormtroopers or the scout troopers we see at the start of the episode. We all know throughout Star Wars how much they get paid out for their accuracy, and this doesn't do them any justice. They have a can in front of them and they're just both taking shots at it and they're missing. And they're not missing by a little bit, they're missing by a fair amount. They're just banging their weapons, looking confused. But it's a really awesome scene, and we also see these two stormtroopers pay each other out. We see them both want to see the child, which they snatch from Quill at the end of the previous episode. But it's a really great opener. It's one of the funniest openers that we've seen throughout the season. I really like the way which they've actually managed to incorporate just that little bit of humour into the Star Wars universe. It really suits the episode, which is, apart from that, is quite a serious episode. Yeah, it is a great episode though. It's a really strong episode. It's a really good way to finish season 1. I'm really looking forward to seeing where they go in season 2 now, because this show was absolutely fantastic. It was really good. There was so much character development that we see throughout these 8 chapters. We see all these awesome characters come into it. We see all elements of the Star Wars universe really tied into this show. We see bounty hunters, we see elements of Rebels and Clone Wars, and all make their way into this TV series. It is a really fun one to watch, and it is a really fun show to enjoy. So if you haven't seen any of it, I highly recommend go out and get Disney Plus, because it is a really strong TV series. You don't even have to be a Star Wars fan to know what's going on, because it's a pretty self-involved, self-explained story where you don't have to have a huge understanding of the Star Wars universe to understand what's going on in the story. Whereas if you do know heaps about the Star Wars universe, there's all these little Easter eggs and all these little things throughout it for you as well. Anyway, I'm not here to persuade you to go and watch it. Most of you would have already watched it if you wanted to. One of the other things which I wanted to mention in this episode was we get to see the return of RG-11 into action. Now this is an awesome fight scene. As we know, our 3 protagonists were holed up in the cantina at the end of the last episode, and then we get to see how they manage to escape this. It's just after RG-11 snatches back the child and kills the troopers who couldn't hit anything, and who stole Baby Yoda at the end of the previous episode, I should say. He just comes barging in to protect them all, and man, it is an awesome scene. He just does not miss. He is a stormtrooper's fear. He's the complete opposite. He can't miss, whereas a stormtrooper can't hit. It is a pretty awesome action scene, and we really get to see how well they escape from being trapped. It's a really good scene. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. No, it's a really good scene. There's so much action. You know, we get to see all the elements or everything our heroes have at their disposal and how they use them all. There's really no escape for them until RG-11 comes. It looks pretty much done for. Something else which I loved about this episode is we get to see the Mandalorian. He finally gets his jetpack. So he finally becomes one of the Mandalorians, which we know and love from Rebels. We know Sabine Wren and all the other Mandalorians. We see them fly and they fight. Even in chapter 3 of this show, we get to see all the Mandalorians fly, but Mando himself doesn't actually have a backpack, or a jetpack I should say. until this episode, and we actually get to see him use it in the final fight scene when he's attacking Moff Gideon in his TIE fighter, which was absolutely awesome. We see that just escape the Imperial forces, and Moff Gideon comes, finds them, and the Mandalorian is pretty much the only way with his jetpack how they can hope to escape the situation. So we see him fly up, we see him use all his gadgets to take down the TIE fighter, which is absolutely incredible. We see the TIE fighter crash, and then we see perhaps the biggest reveal of the series. Well, maybe apart from Baby Yoda, so I would say the second biggest reveal of the series. Everyone thinks he's dead. Mando's departed. Greef Karga and Cara Dune have departed and gone off to conduct business. And we actually see that Moff Gideon cuts his way free of the TIE fighter wreckage with the Darksaber. The Darksaber, which we last saw in Star Wars Rebels as Sabine presented it to, I don't quite remember her name off the top of my head, but I really, really love how this ties together Star Wars Rebels, Star Wars The Clone Wars, how we're actually seeing these animated characters from the TV series, well, the animated TV series, and actually come into the live-action TV series and the Star Wars universe as a proper. This is a spoiler for Rise of Skywalker, but we actually hear Ahsoka Tano and Kanan's voice when Rey is on the ground hearing all the Jedi's past. So I really, really like the way which they're incorporating Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels into the larger Star Wars universe. It really shows that they are actually an important part of it, and seeing them in The Mandalorian as well is absolutely incredible. But this raises so many questions. What exactly happened with Mandalorian? How did he come into possession of having the Darksaber, which I believe we will resolve in Season 2, which I'm really looking forward to. There are so many Star Wars TV stuff to look forward to with Season 2 of The Mandalorian, the Obi-Wan show, the Cassian Andor show, and the rumoured Darth Maul show, just to name some of them. But anyway, guys, this is just a really quick overview. I don't want to ramble on too much. If you liked it, please subscribe. Please like this video. But otherwise, guys, have a great week, and I'll see you all in the next video.